So thanks for joining us for the bonus session for the Bridge to Heaven Masterclass. Some of you may not have been following the whole masterclass, and that's fine. We have the videos there. I believe I posted the links in both the Bridge to Heaven pop-up group and also in the Soulmates group. Okay, and eventually they will be also on our YouTube channel. Okay, which would probably be easier for you to navigate. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? Like, go and subscribe. But today we want to go further into this subject, and we are going to talk about the academy because I think it's still some people are reaching out to me, and I think they're still a little not sure and want a little more explanation. So that's fine. And we'd love to have you join us. But before we go further, I I really want to address one question that probably on your mind if you're not sure about joining. Like, can I really do this? Like, how do I know if my partner, my loved one wants to? Like, how can I tell, right? And well, one way, if after I explain this to you, you still don't understand, we do have, I am have started to do um, audio mini readings, and maybe Maria can drop the link, and we'll post the link later again for you. But and I haven't shared it with the Soulmates group, so my apologies. We've shared this in the Bridge to Heaven group, and a whole bunch of people like signed up for the audio mini readings because they're just $37. And in it, what I do is I actually will either answer one question that you have about something or give you your own custom attunement. If you say, I need help with XYZ, pretty much almost anything that you need, we can deliver that. I wouldn't say this replaces a mediumship reading. It's not a conventional mediumship reading. Our skill, our gift is really helping you connect and we hold the space for you. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that too. I think this is what it's hard for some people to wrap their head around because this is not a conventional mediumship or psychic development training at all. It's on a whole other level. And I think many of our academy students will attest to that. You're going to learn to develop yourself spiritually, psychically, very similar thing. But you need to work on your personal development, meaning, your own issues. This is not about just being psychic. If it was that, then every medium, every psychic would be able to snap their fingers and talk to their loved one when they cross over. And I'll tell you, I was surprised when I found out that a lot of them cannot do that because they haven't worked on personal development. We are really big on personal development. Well, Alan's saying we're big on everything. We're big on teaching you how manifestation works, how to heal yourself of your issues, your limiting beliefs, and our attunements. If you haven't experienced them already, go watch the masterclass. We'll work on that. I've been hearing from people who've taken the masterclass saying that yeah, they can feel that they're shifting just from being in it and watching the video, going through the guided attunements and exercises. This is what we do in the academy. Not only that, there's well, I'd say at this point over 200 classes, attunements, and no, you don't have to watch all of it, but we are literally holding the energy and merging heaven and earth, okay, for you. And because to my knowledge, nobody's doing that, you don't have a frame of reference, what the heck is this? And I get it. That's why we taught the master class. That's why it's going to be available to everyone to review. And, and it will help. I know already I've heard from you saying how much has helped. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be enough because this is, if you're going to embark on it, this is going to be a lifelong journey of unfolding, of you connecting, of you refining your communication. You don't reach a level and that's it. I am still going through a lot of changes and my own dark night of the soul, which I'm going to write about soon. And you will too, because this is what it is to spiritually awaken. And this is what we need to do if we want to have these relationships through the veil. There's no shortcut. It's not like go take a traditional, again, a traditional psychic development training and say, okay, now I can connect because I'm clairvoyant, or now I'm clairsentient, and all the clairs are active. No, that's why psychics, a lot of them can't do this. Okay. I'll just say we add the extra piece of this, but because we're holding this energy that I think some of you, whoa, look at how the screen just, I think you guys could feel it. And the archangels are going to get way more involved as we're going forward. So if you're even the least bit curious, then again, we'll talk more about the Academy later, but at least join us for a month, see how it goes for you. But when we get to the question of, well, how do I know that I can do this, that my loved one wants me to do this, that I can continue a relationship, especially as a partner? If it's a partner across the veil, one of two things are going to happen. I can pretty much, honestly, I can pretty guarantee you, okay? They either want to continue, and if you are all in, and Spirit is saying to me, it's only if you commit and really learn this, your loved one will get on board. Okay. If you're committed, they won't do that unless you are, because why would they do that? It'd be like, there's no point, because you're not regularly practicing, you're not actively committed, you engaged in it. They won't. That doesn't mean you couldn't change your mind later, because you could, right? You could a month later, a year later, say, okay, I want to do this now. Great. And if you need to wait, great. We're not trying to push you into anything by any means. Follow your guidance. But if you are all in, then they're all in. If you're not all in, they're not. They would come visit you. They may do, and they will do that because people have those experiences, right? They do, but they're not going to be actively developing it. And I didn't know that they are not all up to speed with this. And until I actually heard a medium say that, yeah, they have to learn this, and they're all at different levels. Some spirits can come through really strong right away, and others will need a long time. And I don't know how long your loved one would need to develop this, but I will tell you, Alan's going to help them. He is helping them, even if you're not in the academy. He'll help them. He's saying, you, however, you need help in this 3D world, because I'm sorry, this ain't an easy journey. I pretty much sure you cannot do this yourself, because I couldn't do it myself. And I still need support, and I get support for my journey. Okay. I couldn't do this on my own. He told me, says, you're going to need to form a Facebook group, and you're going to need to bring people in there you were going to support them. They're going to support you. And he was right. Absolutely right. I wouldn't be able to have what I have with him now if I didn't form the group and the academy. Okay. And where we really go deeper, like we really work through things, and where there's a community to support you, right? So there's one option, right? Like your loved one is all in because you're all in. Let's say you're going, yeah, but how do I know? Maybe they don't want to continue, right? So let's pretend, for whatever reason, and this would be more about your soul plan. It's not that they don't love you. I want to get that clear. They wouldn't want to not continue because they don't love you. It's not about that. It's about, what did your soul plan for this incarnation? It's all about that, because you will not find every interdimensional couple continuing. Okay. It's just not going to be that way. Again, not because they don't love each other deeply, but because you, the person in the body, had a different soul plan, that you planned to continue maybe having another relationship while you're in a body, right? And your loved one crossed over. So there's always going to be that possibility. Now, that said, if you went forward and learned to connect with your loved one, and let's say you don't even, not sure, they're going to help you find a new relationship. If that's really what you, on a soul level, okay, not you conscious mind, You, the conscious person, might go, no, 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 I don't want that, right? That's your physical conscious mind saying, this is not what I want. I want to continue with my partner. Great, that's okay. If your higher self knows that's not your soul's plan, you're going to meet somebody, whether you like, and I've seen that, going to meet somebody. One of our good friends, she was all in with continuing with her partner, who's a good friend of ours, and was surprised when somebody new showed up in her life, and she goes, "What? I thought it was going to continue." And she realized that her husband had facilitated this, okay? And he was supportive. Now, she could still say, I don't want this relationship. I want to stay with my husband, okay? Because you have free will. But her soul obviously had planned that she would have the option. And so he helped bring this person. And so what Alan's explained to me is a medium should, or this is our opinion, okay? Just our opinion. A medium should never tell anybody, your partner, your husband, your wife wants you to move on and they're bringing somebody new to you, because that's going to devastate you. And even if that's part of your soul's plan, again, right? Not that they don't love you and don't want to continue, but you as a soul said, yeah, I want to continue with a new relationship. Okay. If that is the case, your loved one on their side, they're never going to say to you, I want you to move on and I'm bringing somebody new, because they know you're going to be devastated. And that gets us so upset, because I hear this so often. And Alan gets really upset too. He goes, why would we on the other side ever tell anyone we love that? Never. That is the psychic, the medium's belief system. That's their bias. That's how they were taught. They would never intentionally hurt you. And they are so, especially a partner, so merged with your energy. They know what you're feeling. They know that if they were, the medium would say that to you, which he says, again, pretty much they're not really talking to the loved one. They're just giving you their opinion. Two different things. They would never do that to you when they know they don't have to. It's unnecessary. If your soul's plan has it that you're going to have another relationship, that's going to show up. That's your destiny. That's going to happen. And then, only then, would you maybe reach out to a medium or a psychic and say, hey, I don't know what to do here. I love my partner, but I met somebody new and I am having feelings for them, like what happened to my friend. And she decided that, okay, I feel a connection with this man, and okay, I want to explore that. That's fine. And her husband is fine. And he says, I'm waiting for you on the other side. Okay, so why would her husband was never going to tell a medium, oh, tell her to move on and bring her somebody new. When he knew, like, well, if that's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'll support her through it. So basically, our answer to you is not to really worry about it, to understand that reaching through the veil and having this relationship with them could very well be part of your soul's growth. It's not just about reclaiming the love that you think you lost that is still there. It's not just about continuing to communicate with them, although it is about that. It's just not only about that. It's about you becoming all that you are, who you truly are, becoming empowered, letting go of your fears and your issues. They want that for us. They want us to be free of all the emotional baggage that we've been carrying, not just so we can connect, but so that we can live the remaining years of our life free, right? Free and with this higher vibration, this higher awareness, because the earth plane, in case anybody's been living under a rock, is getting kind of crazy. And it's only going to get crazier. I'm not trying to push fear on you. I don't think you need to be a psychic to predict that anymore. Like, okay, we're on the threshold of a lot more chaos. And so you're going to be able to handle it better. They know that. You'll be able to handle it better if you're more blended with your soul, if you're more in tune with your higher guidance. Okay. Yeah, you can book a mini reading with me or a full reading or whatever, but we want to teach you how to be your own medium, how to get your own answers, how to, and really talk to God yourself, whatever your definition of God is, because you can. Spirit told me about a decade ago, they said the time is going to come when people will need to get their own answers, when they won't either be able to or it won't be useful to reach out to a psychic or a medium or anybody like that, that they'll need to go direct. And they told me, you need to put yourself out of a job, meaning as a reader. Okay. Now I'm not quite there yet, putting myself out of a job, and maybe I never will be, but I'm certainly here. We are certainly here to teach you how to get your own answers, how to be your own medium, because we know you can. You're better than any medium. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're world famous. You know why? Because your loved one wants to talk to you. They don't really want to talk to somebody else unless they don't have a choice. And sometimes they don't, even if they don't have a choice, they don't like that medium because they don't. Sometimes they don't. I've experienced that. They just won't come through that person. Okay. And there's too many problems with mediumship right now with all the flood of mediums. And I love mediums. My husband was one, is one, he's saying. And some of my best friends are phenomenal mediums. However, I would say a good 70% at the minimum mediums that are out there now are either inept, like they're not well trained, or they're frauds. That's it. So you're only talking about, and I'm being generous. He's saying I'm being too generous here. He's saying like 30% is a little bit generous. You won't really know. You will not know if the medium is being truthful to you. And I don't think I've talked about this yet. And again, please don't say I'm bashing mediums. I get really frustrated when people do that. I'm just trying to educate you so that you stay safe, so that you don't, get your feelings hurt, like you don't get devastated with some idiot medium who doesn't know what they're talking about, tells you that you need to move on and let your loved one go because you're holding them back and all that crap. There is so much ignorance. I mean, Alan gets really upset about this. He was upset about this when he was in a body because he saw that. And he was concerned, but now he's on the other side. He's really concerned, but at least he's happy in the sense that he knows that we can help you become your own medium. Okay, because here's the issue with mediumship, and I'm going to leave it here with that thing. And I've heard many mediums say this, okay, really like in parentheses, because they don't want to emphasize this. They know that they can read your loved one psychically because they're not dead, are they? Just like a psychic could read a friend of yours who's here now in a body and really tell you everything about them. And I mean everything. If they're really good, everything, all their secrets, everything. Psychic spying is a real thing, guys. Why do you think the government puts a lot of resources into developing that? There's a lot of things you have no idea. So psychics can literally, I don't say all of them can, some of them can get all the detail about your loved one. Everything, and I mean everything, like the streets they lived on, their birth date, their name, on and on. I mean everything. But they're not talking to them. They're not just reading the information. That is not the genuine mediumship. Do you think? All that is reciting a fact. Like, this is how they died. This is why I get frustrated with even evidential mediumship. And don't get me wrong, because evidential mediumship is phenomenal. If you know 100% that medium is not cheating, because they can. That's the problem. And Alan says he would slip into that a little bit. And that's why he wasn't comfortable doing mediumship, because he said, I can feel myself slipping into reading the dead. And he'd have to pull back, but the pressure to deliver on the information to you rather than refunding you is really high. So some of them, I know spirits told me, some mediums don't even know they're doing that. They actually believe that they're talking to your loved one, but here, this is where their opinion comes in, right? They go, oh, well, you need to move on because, you know, you're holding them back. That's not what the loved one is saying. You know how many times I've heard that a client has come and said, well, they told this medium, the medium says that they said, I want you to move on. And I go, wait a minute, but you're having contact and I'm not hearing that. It's like, they're not, they're just telling you their belief. And so that's why we're so big on helping you to learn how to communicate directly. And then, you know, relying less on mediums unless you really trust that person. But that's the problem here. I think it's actually more problematic because of the media and, you know, TV and mediums having Netflix programs and all that. So you can see where now the expectation is so much higher. There's even some famous mediums I know I've heard, and I will never divulge who they are, who cheat, who actually do, the pressure so high, they actually get background information on people. Because with the internet, folks, really hard to keep secrets. So they can get enough detail to prove to you, this is the problem. And by the way, AI is going to get even more refined, like 1 billion times smarter than a human. Like, I think the days of mediumship are kind of numbered, and that going direct is going to be the only way to know for sure, get your own evidence, right? Get your own experience, because they can come through to you, give you emotions that you cannot conjure yourself. They can give you physical experiences that you cannot make up yourself. I know you can't, because I've met people who try and I mean, actively try, right, to make this up, and they can't. You can't. You can't make it up on your own. Okay, Kathy says, yeah, the internet's actually pretty scary. You can find out pretty much. Yeah, there are no secrets. There are no secrets in the universe. So a genuine psychic could tell you, read you all of that. And again, I'm not saying they all can, but that's possible. Certainly, Alan's saying, certainly possible to get enough detail to impress you, to go, oh, well, they knew how he died, right? They knew his name, right? Whatever, those things, like enough to go, okay, that. So, and again, I have every respect for mediums. I recently was told by Spirit why I don't do conventional mediumship, because to be honest with you, if I could do that, I would probably be a millionaire like 10 times over at this point, because of our book, because of our work. But they said, no, that's not your gift. That's not your purpose. And I go, yeah, but it'd be so much easier, guys, you know, like what? And they go, that's not your purpose. I said, what is my purpose? Your purpose is connecting with Alan and merging to a degree that has rarely been experienced by anyone in a body, for the purpose of creating this field, especially in the academy, and to some degree, you know, like when we teach like this is why we're sharing it with you, but to create this field so that it makes it possible for spirits on that side and us here to connect, because the energies have to really match up, and it can be challenging. So I said, well, so how is that different? Like, so I couldn't do like, again, a conventional mediumship. They go, because if you were to do that, you would merge so completely with that loved one that it would distort you. And because you can't, it's hard. They said it's difficult for me to just telepathically, although I do get telepathic messages. They go, you'll tend to like go deeper. And they also said that I'm not here to become a conventional medium, because then I would only do that, because that would be easy. I'd make a lot of money, but I promised that I would be of service to others and that I'd be a teacher. And most mediums don't teach. I mean, some do, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them, you know, are mainly doing readings. So we're holding this state for you. Alan literally works with your loved ones on your side. So if you're trying to figure out, like, is this for me? Like, I don't know. My suggestion would be to either you could get a mini reading with me and we'll sort that out right away, or you could give it a try, right? Like just watch our videos. Nobody has to join our academy if they can't do that, but we make it easy for anybody to, because we also have a pay what you can option to join us. But and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I just want you to know that this is really about your journey as a soul, your growth as a soul. You are still here in a body, obviously. Your loved ones are not. Their mission, their purpose was complete, and they're on the other side. If you're still here, you're not finished. So at the very minimum, you're here to, again, grow as a soul. And you don't know how that's going to impact those around you, especially if you have children or other family members that you live with that or you interact with a lot. Okay. You have no idea how your vibration as it rises affects on a positive level everyone around you. That is everyone's mission, without exception, mine too. Everyone, one of your main missions is to evolve and hold as high a vibration that you can to positively impact those around you. Now, if you're struggling with that, don't worry about it, right? You're not like going to stress about it, like, well, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. It's okay. Just understand that that is a contribution in and of itself, that you find a way to break free of your fears, your trauma, your limiting beliefs, and therefore your energy just increases and becomes more clear, more powerful, and you become more alive, and you become this light that, and you already are a light, but your light grows brighter and it ignites the light in other people. We're all here to participate in that. So I hope that makes sense for you about that. So if you're concerned, just try it, and also right now, just feel into that. Does this feel like something that, you are here to do or you are interested in? How do you feel? Because you should feel some sort of positive emotion when you think upon the idea. And if you do, that is your higher self kind of calling you forward. Positive emotion, usually it's subtle, is the language of the soul. It's trying to say, yeah, this is good for you. This will fulfill you. Explore this, try this, go in this direction. So any questions about that? Oh, Marie said not only medium, she had an astrologer tell her to move on. That is the belief system of society. Because, okay, now Spirit wants me to tell you a bit more about, we want to talk about, what you expect with these relationships too, right? So the challenge you have is pretty much the whole world is going to tell you to move on. They are not comfortable with someone who's lost a partner, who isn't ready to partner up again, right? Like everyone, like, you should start dating again. You should go out again. They don't know what to do with us if we're electing to continue this relationship, because, we know what to think. Like, you certainly probably can't tell many people, oh yeah, well, I'm still connecting with my dead husband. I can, because all my friends know, it's no big deal. Everybody says, how's Alan? What's he up to lately? That's like my life. That's probably not your life. And that's why, again, why we created the Academy, because you're going to need feedback from folks like us who are doing this, or it's easy to, he's saying, fall back asleep and believe that this world out here is the reality. This is not the real reality, people. This is the illusion. And if you want a good kind of reminder of that, the movie Matrix will wake you up to that if you haven't seen it already. The Matrix, I've heard one spiritual teacher say, the movie series The Matrix, it should be actually called a documentary. That's how reality is. You're actually asleep in this matrix, dreaming that this is real when it's not. So waking up in the matrix means waking up to being the soul that you are, and then realizing, okay, I can navigate this in this other way. Okay, someone just asked this, my person have to contact Alan or really know. No, Alan told me this from the beginning. He knows every spirit connected to you who's on the other side and works closely with them, more so in the academy than in the soulmates group. And only, not that he wouldn't work with anybody because he says he would, but there's no point if you are not really all in, to this process. And if you're just like trying different things out, which is fine, because you got to start somewhere, right? No problem. But when you're all in, you're investing your time and what money you can, whatever. And again, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time practicing this, but at least you're committed and you're doing your best. All it is about doing your best. That's all anybody can do, is just do your best. So he's told me he is aware of everybody's loved ones in the spirit world. He's showing me, he says he's half joking. He's saying, yeah, there's a whole welcoming committee on the other side that he leads. Like, hi, I'm Alan. I'm here to help you. And I've had mediums confirm this too, by the way, with clients have told me, yeah, I had a reading and the medium told me that this is people in the academy, told me that my husband or my wife is taking a class at the same time I take the class with you, Pam. And that cracked me up because that's exactly what Alan said. He says, we're holding class simultaneously. And that is why these attunements, these guided exercises are so powerful. And when you rewatch them, people, they're even more powerful because as you shift, you grow, right? You go back and watch something and you're going to experience it a different way. It's going to take you to another level. And so I'm constantly reminding our students in the academy to take advantage of at this point, I think it's over 200 videos and just see what they're guided to watch and know that it opens a door to the other side and they'll get exactly what they need. You cannot make a mistake. So there's so much power in our content. That's why we have an archive of videos. And Alan's saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. Plus what we're going to do going forward. And I'll just have Maria drop the link to the academy right now, even though I'm not talking fully about it. I will in a minute. But I want you to know that what you can expect in this relationship through the veil is that it is going to test you. It's going to test your fears and your beliefs. Like first off, for some of you, it's, well, do they still love me? That's your insecurity. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt when they were here, chances are you will be completely convinced that, well, of course they still love me. How could they not love me? But some of you not so sure, right? Like I was one of them because Alan wasn't the most caring, attentive husband. And even he was worried. He went to my friend Swati and said, oh my God, I don't think Pam's going to want to continue with me because I was such a shitty husband. In his words, I didn't use those words. She said that's what he said. He said that he was such a shitty husband that he was worried you're not going to want anything to do with him. And I said, no, I do. But he was genuinely worried about that. Okay. So if I had been doubtful or couldn't let go of my resentment of him, then that would have been a problem. So that's one of the first things you have to address. Well, no, wait a minute. He's telling me the first thing is actually to address is, do you have fears relative to the spirit world? If you have fears about the paranormal, fears about the afterlife, what you can't see, you're going to have to deal with that. I've heard some people say, I don't know, it might be too, shocking for me to see them or something, right? And I get it. So if you've got that fear, then that's going to be in the way. We've talked about this in the masterclass, didn't we? About fears and doubts are obstacles to connecting, to communication. So you have to resolve that. Now, after that is resolved, like, okay, I don't have any fear. I don't have any doubt. I trust. Now it becomes like, do I really believe and know that they love me? Usually this can also be traced back to lack of self-love. I've seen people who doubt tend to not fully value themselves or love themselves, because if you did, you'd go, oh, that's crazy. Of course they love me. I'm amazing. Like, I'm such an amazing person. Why would they not love me? Right. And but if you doubt, right, you can understand. If you think, well, I don't know, I'm grown older, I'm overweight now, oh, I'm this or that, whatever your excuse you say for thinking you're less than, that's going to be an obstacle. And so if you can love yourself just as you are, because they see us at, he says to me, they do, because somebody asked me, they're worried, like they wanted their husband to see them exactly as they are. And some of you would say, no, I don't want that. I want them to see me as I want to be seen, right? Like I want them, like if I was well, I'm going to be 72 this year, so I might say, well, I want him to see me like it was when he met me, which, and I was about 37. And so I might say that, right? And he's saying to me, I see the beauty in you completely. It's not just physical. So they do that too. So, okay, soul vision is 2020, meaning that it sees you totally, not just physical. Physical, he says, is so one-dimensional, but the beauty of you as a being, as a soul, and you've had many lifetimes with each other. So which version of you in which lifetime are they going to dial into, right? They're going to see you, the totality of you. And he says it's really hard for him to explain what they see because it's not always like how we see ourselves in the mirror, although it can be. But just know that they only see us through the eyes of love. And that love is always going to accept and adore us just as we are. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you wear makeup, don't wear makeup, whether you gained weight, doesn't matter. On your worst day, it doesn't matter at all. Okay. And I know that almost every one of you feel the same way about them, don't you? Like, I don't care if you were old or broken or, you had lost a lot of weight because you got really sick. And yeah, it pains me to have that memory of you, but I love knowing that you're vibrant and young now. And usually they present themselves that way, as they really usually come through showing themselves at an age or a time when they were healthy and vibrant. But they can appear younger, older. They can show up whatever way they want. They can come as a different person, like Alan did when he was trying to annoy my friend Swati, and he showed up as Donald Trump. And she was just like yelling at him, like, "Why are you doing this to me? You're torturing me," But they can do that. They can show up as in the image of whoever they want to. Okay. So what you can expect is that they love you just as they are. They don't care how old you get. They don't care if you're 104 when you die, and you you feel like, but I'm 104 and I don't look like I did when I was 20 when we met or something. They don't care at all. They don't get angry at you. They're not impatient. They're not, generally speaking. Some of them might, but not in the way that they would have in a body or with an ego. Okay. They are understanding in a way that they weren't able to be probably when they were in a body. So see, now Lisa says, exactly, I don't care one bit how he looks. I love him for who he is, not how he looks. Well, that's how they look at us. Again, that's our own insecurity, isn't it? About, well, is he going to love me if I'm, older and I have more wrinkles and on and on? It has nothing to do with it. On the other side, it's not about the physical, okay, at all. Yeah, Jan says, I think they see us in our totality of all our versions. He says they see our beautiful, shining soul. And of course, you're gorgeous, you're luminous, you're light, you're an aspect of all that is. How could you not be the most beautiful, exquisite being that they've ever seen? And plus, they have the bonds of love connecting to you, to all of us, right? And so they cannot help but love us, folks, because some of you, here's the thing, you've lived in this earth plane reality long enough to know that you've had relationships with people, some of them even friends, not necessarily partners, but even friends, right? Where you thought, well, we love each other, we're connecting, we have this great relationship. And then for some reason, it falls apart. I think we've all had that, right? Where we lose a friend, like there's a disagreement, or we break up with somebody we love, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and we despair about that. Like, well, where'd the love go? Right? Like, what happened? I thought they love me and I love them. Well, we're here to also learn in the 3D world, what through experiencing the absence of love in a sense, right? Like what that is just some experience to understand, well, there was something we had to learn from that. You know, in reality, when you connect on the other side, because you will reunite with all the people you encountered in this life. When you cross over, you'll meet them again and you all laugh and go, wasn't that funny how, you know, we were together, we were happy for so long and then we broke up, and but I still love you and you love me, because there's only love. So you're just playing out these roles, having these relationships where you were being reflected back to you something that you needed to learn about yourself. Like for, I'm gonna give you an example, because probably several of you have had abusive relationships, whether it's physical or emotional or both, whatever. A lot of people do. Me too. Me too. Before I met Alan, I was in this emotionally abusive relationship. And like these relationships can be, I ended up isolating me from everybody that I knew, and just so that I would just be focused on him. He was jealous of everybody and everything, even if I would be with him and walk into an elevator with my eyes literally on my shoes, okay, not looking around at anything, on my shoes. And let's say people walked in, men would walk in and then they'd walk out, and this boyfriend would say, I saw you staring at that guy. I know you were staring at that guy. I know you were checking out that guy. And I literally do not kid you. I wanted to, if I could have, I think I would have taken my life, because I didn't know how to get out of that relationship. And I prayed about it. You know, I said, and I even got warnings from spirit about getting out of that relationship, because I almost crashed my car with my mother in it. And it was a miracle we actually survived. We were coming through on Oahu, there's an area called the Pali. There's like tunnels that go through the mountain that connects one side of the island to the other. And I grew up on that, going through those tunnels. And I'm driving my mother through these tunnels, going down the hill, this winding hill. And it had just started raining, and I was driving her car and hit the brake, and my car spun out of control. There's a 2-lane little highway, okay, not this massive, there's no real pull-off except 2 areas, narrow pull-offs. Other than that, if your car broke down, you would get probably killed. Like, because unless you pulled up, because cars are barreling down there like 40 miles an hour because they're speeding. So my car spun out, and it spun around. And I remember saying to my mom as the car spun out, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the car was going this way. It spun and landed facing the opposite direction, facing the traffic, on the only little area that was sort of a shoulder on the side of the road. And we were safe. And as soon as the car stopped, this big old bus came barreling down that would have killed us. I know we would have died, because it was barreling down the road, a mega bus. And I knew that that was a wake-up call. I knew that spirit was saying, you have to get out of this relationship. But I still didn't know how. So I prayed, and I'm not open to spirit now. I'm not a channel. I'm not at all spiritually awakened at all. I'm just a waitress with this terrible boyfriend. And so I prayed and I go, I don't know how to get out of this. If I can't get out of this, I just don't want to be here anymore. Because it was like living in hell. And so I know that I had to go through that to learn compassion, to understand what abusive relationships are. But what happened was he ended up sorry, let me back up again. He came to me and said, this boyfriend came to me and said that he had been actually having this affair with this Japanese tourist, this woman, and apparently she'd gotten pregnant. So she came back with her family who wanted him to marry her. So, phew, I got off the hook because he said, well, I'm going to have to marry her. And I go, okay. Like, okay. Like, I'm really sad about that, but okay. And I realized, like, oh my God, my life just got speared, right? Now, I learned from that I was never going to take crap from any person, not just men, okay? Like, I claimed my power after that. When you get beaten down that hard, there's something called the rubber band effect, that you catapult yourself to the other side and you go, screw that. Know who I am. I know my worth. I don't care if I ever meet somebody else. As long as I have me, that's all I need. And so I was liberated, really felt like I got out of jail, and was so happy from that point on, just to be free to live my life the way I wanted to, because I was so used to looking over my shoulder. Is he going to get upset? Is he going to like show up at work and cause a scene? And, and I know some of you have had those relationships. I know that. And it's terrifying. And you give up your power. And so I knew then that had to happen to clear me, or I wouldn't have been a match to Alan when I met him vibrationally. I had to deal with that. And I do think that I had some sort of karma with this boyfriend, I think, because he said to me that I actually saved his life, because when I met him, he had been, I think if I remember correctly, he had been given some drug, like they put something in a drink of his, PCP, I think, and it had freaked him out. And he was very psychic. He could see spirit, and I know there were a lot of entities around him, negative ones, very intense negative ones. My good friend who was a psychic could see them, and it scared her so much that she didn't want him ever to come into the house that I was sharing with her at the time. And she was afraid, literally afraid for me, but I knew I was protected, and I've always been protected. So I knew that was karmic, okay, that I had to learn something from that. I had to probably, there's something I had to repay to him for. That's fine. And that was done. Those relationships are all for our growth, right? And so your partner, it may have been difficult. For many of you, it was. You loved them very much, but you had challenges. And now you have to heal that. If you're going to connect, you're going to have to repair that, and you can. But they're not that person anymore. And everything you went through, and even this that you're going through right now, is for your growth. Even the tragic loss, I put that, little like italics, right? Because you didn't lose them. No one and nothing is ever lost in the eyes of God. Your connection can never be lost unless you believe you've lost it, because then that is what you're going to manifest, because you believe you lost it. So understand that it is all self-generated, self-created. If you believe you can connect, you can. If you trust what you experience, it'll get stronger and give you more evidence. Now, that to me is the level of evidential mediumship we should aim for, not through somebody else, but getting our own evidence. Because if we work with them, they can provide it. Now, that said, I want to add a little caveat here, okay? Because some of you, and you probably know who you are, because you could be like me where you go, well, I don't get a lot of signs. Some of you do, some of you don't, okay? If you don't, which is my experience, get a lot of outer signs, it will almost always be because that is not appropriate for your soul's journey. Your higher self is going to bring in your experience based on what is appropriate in that moment, but also what your belief system is able to let in. This is what you don't understand. It's not just about, that, again, being psychic. It's like, do I have a belief system that lets the truth filter in, or am I blocking it? Okay. Because higher self can only give what it can give. And then it could, they're showing me like it's stored there waiting for you to download it when now your consciousness has expanded and you believe these things are possible, then some of it will come in. But they are always in control. Your higher self, which is connected to your soul, is actually the one running the show, believe it or not. And your conscious mind is either working together, which is what we are training you to do, especially in the academy, to work together with higher self, higher mind, or it's actually interfering, which is what's happening with most people. The physical mind with its limiting beliefs and fears is getting in there, and it's not letting you have the experiences that you could have. Okay, now there will always be exceptions. There are always going to be some people who have a lot of fear, have limiting beliefs, and yet they're having these intense experiences. I've met some of them, but they're still not necessarily happy with the connection with their loved one, because they as a person, okay, here in a body, they're distorted. So they're not really enjoying the ride. What's the point of you having this communication and this connection if your 3D life kind of sucks, where you still feel and I don't know, you're just not happy with others, or, with your day to day, it's not gonna fulfill you. And they want you to have it all because it's possible, they're telling me. Like Danny says, very few sides for her. Okay, some of you have a lot of sides. I didn't get a lot of sides. And I was, don't get me wrong, I was reeling about it. So I wanted to talk to you folks like Daddy who not getting sides. I was upset. I'd go, hey, I'm doing your work, guys. I'm working for you, spirit. And how come I don't get any signs? And they go, you're not here for that. You don't need to have it proven to you. And I'd go, well, sure would be still nice, Don't get me wrong. I did have some things happen that were astounding, but it's not like often. Okay. If you're having that, that means I would say that your higher self knows, well, they need this right now. Now, remember I said, need it now. You will know that you're evolving and growing and refining your connection when you get less signs, because they don't want to live with you only through signs. Alan would say to me and other medium friends, right? Like, I don't want him talking to you, like my friend Swati or other mediums, because the time for those signs was in the beginning, and I want it to be about she and I want her to talk to me directly. That's it. And so I don't get that. I don't get those signs, and the relationship keeps deepening and strengthening, and we are like one person. But my experience in my relationship is going to be, he's putting the word vastly different from yours. And do not hold me up as your model, because let me explain why you don't necessarily want what I have, although I'm at peace with it. We're holding the space for you, right, to connect. He and I have to really merge, not completely, because that's impossible. You can't ever do that, but merge to the degree where it's like, I don't know where he begins and I end, and I don't experience them as separate from me very much. You will, because you want to, don't you? Right? You don't want to be so merged that you go, I don't know if I'm really talking to him or her. Like, I don't know if I really feel them. I don't know. I feel like we're just one person. We have to be kind of like one person to be of service to you. And this was our sacrifice that we agreed to make. Don't get me wrong. I have moments of bliss that would blow your mind, but you don't want that. You can have your own bliss with your partners, okay, with interacting with them. And that's why you guys in Academy are seeing your connections deepening. And not all of you, because some of you're all at different levels. But I know many of you are, because you've been telling us that, sharing that, like things just, or that you find our Academy and things just take off, right? Like, whoa, it's going to only get stronger because Alan and I, because I will admit, I've thrown temper tantrums about this, saying like, this is not fair, my human self, right? Crying to Alan in spirit going, this is not fair. What about me? What about me? What about me? Because I'm only human. And every time that would happen, a spirit would come in and they would give me some sort of profound experience. And I had one recently where a spirit actually came to me, came and started talking to me to explain, okay, this is why this is happening. Because I was ready to like quit, go to, have a revolt against the whole thing and say, except that my heart would break letting people down. I can't let you guys down. So I said, but I can't take this anymore. Like, I'm ready to quit. And they sent me a spirit. And Alan's saying to just tell you the story because I was going to write about it. He said, just tell the story. You can write about it too. So some of you know that I wrote about the hero's journey, like how the hero's journey, as described by Joseph Campbell in his amazing books, The Hero Has 1,000 Faces. I wrote our version of how and explained how the hero's journey is really the journey of an interdimensional relationship. It very much parallels that. So the hero goes through dark night of the soul. And this journey, you're going to go through several dark nights of the soul. And that's why you need us to pull you out of that valley, if you will. Okay. I've been through that dark night how many times? Always come out stronger, always come out more connected to Alan and Source and my higher self. But you got to burn through your fears, and the ego is going to start shedding things. Okay, so it can be really tough. So I went through that, and I just told myself I can't do this anymore. I physically, mentally, spiritually, I'm just wiped out. And so when I was looking online after writing that piece about the hero's journey, and out of curiosity, I felt like I wanted to look up Joseph Campbell because I heard that he died on Oahu. So I just looked up, his background, right? And I saw his wife's name there. It said Jean Erdman. And I go, oh, Erdman. I wonder if that's like Camp Erdman. There's a YMCA camp on the North Shore of Oahu called Camp Erdman that I used to go with when I was a kid, with my family and my friends. And so I looked her up. And as soon as I saw her face online, like her old photos, she died at age 104 in Kailua, which is where we have lived for many, many years, Kailua on Oahu. And as soon as I saw her face, I was flooded with love. And I knew this wasn't Alan. I could tell it wasn't Alan. I was crying. Like crying. And this love came in, and I heard her say, my dear, you can't give up. And I go, wait, who are you? Like, are you Jean Erdman? She goes, yes. So, well, why are you showing up and not Joseph? She goes, because you need a feminine presence. You got too much masculine energy, with Alan, Archangel Michael, and although they're not really, have a like male feminine thing. But then anyway, she said, you need a feminine presence. And she just starts talking to me like on and on. And I go, this is really weird because she's talking to me, and then I can tell Alan's here and he's kind of talking, but she's jotting him out. And she starts telling me things about Alan, answering me questions. She says, well, he has been having a hard time telling you this. She starts telling me things, and I know that that's her. And I know that this is him. And it was like when I thought about it later, like, oh, I got a mediumship reading by a spirit. So the spirit starts telling me about Alan. And as she's telling me things, I can feel that that's true. I can feel him going, yes, that like and we kind of at one point had a three-way conversation where she's saying this, he's saying that. And I said, this is tripping me out. I go, guys, this is tripping me out. And she says, you need to know that you have many admirers on the other side and beings that are supporting you. Not that you care to have admirers, because we know that you don't really care about that. But we want you to know that you're not alone in this, although you feel alone at times, and that we're behind you. And I could feel all this love just come in again. And I go, okay, I can't know if I can take this. It's too intense. All this love. And they said, this is the love the other side has for all of you. And we are doing everything in our power to come through to everyone to experience this, because people are lost and they think that this world is all there is when it isn't. And we, meaning spirit, right? Angels, guides, our loved ones, we're meant to walk together in this world, seeing each other. That is what humanity is headed toward. But this is the dark hour before the dawning. And they said, you cannot give up yet. And know that it will work out as long as you don't quit. Like you tell everybody, all your students, and they go, yeah, the only way you fail is if you quit. The only way you fail connecting to your loved one on your side is if you just stop. You say, I don't want to do this anymore. Sadly, I've seen people do that because they have expectations, right? Like they think it should be easy. Heck no. This ain't easy. Alan's saying to me, this is almost like the Holy Grail. Like you're chasing after the chalice, and you can get it. And we're here to help you. Okay. But you got to know that you got to commit. You got to search your heart and really feel it. Like, is this really what I'm here to do? And that's what we suggest you do. Don't take what I say to be, base your decision just on that. Take what I say and weigh it in, but hold it to your heart and say, is this for me? Is this what I'm here to do? Because your heart, which is your soul, will tell you. Trust your soul. You'll say, yeah. And just because it says yes, doesn't mean it's easy. I'm on my life mission. I know that. And it's the most challenging experience and the most rewarding, bar none, of my life. And so can this be for you, the most glorious, transformed experience. And it's going to be a challenge. That's why we're here. And that's why, we're here to support you, and we're going to bring the other side into you. So I want to lead you through an attunement, but Spirit's saying, we want to talk about the academy right now, and then we're going to close with an attunement. And they're saying a healing. Okay. A healing. Okay. They're saying healing, an attunement activation. We want to go deep with, I'm hearing, anchoring your connection to your, they're showing me your heart. Like some of you are still like not really in that space. Lisa says, I love that, the Holy Grail. Could there be a, something more, appropriate to call it, right? Like we're on a quest. That's the hero's journey. You're on a quest. Quests are not easy. They're not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it and they'd be done. Okay. Doesn't mean it's not impossible for you. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you got to decide, and you got to stay the course and trust yourself. But you're going to burn off a lot of misconceptions, a lot of beliefs that don't serve you, and you're going to be a new person, the highest version of you. That is what we're here to do our best to deliver to you. But I'm at kind of at the forefront, pushing on the boundaries of reality for us, for consciousness. And I got to go through my dark nights of the soul. So I recently did And teaching you guys in the masterclass was part of it, because I got really sick, some of you know, the day before the masterclass, and I was still kind of not quite right for the next couple of days, not quite right. But I came back stronger. Whereas before the masterclass, I was feeling tired. There was a lot of things going on with me. And after the masterclass, this whole shift happened. Okay. So it's like you do go through a sort of a death of your old self. And then and it's not easy. And then you come out like stronger. I always come back stronger. That's why even my friend Swati doesn't worry about me anymore. She goes, I know whenever you go through those periods, you're going to go to the next level, and you're going to keep breaking through the next level, and the connection becomes stronger, and your experiences will blow your mind. But you got to know that that's the journey. It's not like just step up, step up, step up. No, you're going to go up, and then you're going to go down a little bit. Then you're going to go up, and you're going to go down a little bit. But you are always having this forward progression. Okay. You never have to go down and stay there. You can't really go backward. Karen says that exactly what happened to her after the masterclass. Okay. Yeah, the masterclass is all our work is designed to clear you of baggage and things you don't need. Okay. So, and we want to make it public on YouTube for anybody to experience who's ready for it, open to it. But the way you're going to get the most out of it is to be in the academy. That's just truth. This journey, I can't do it by myself. How are you going to do it by yourself? If you do, let me know, because I'll let you teach class. Because I haven't found anybody could do it by themselves. The people I know that have relationships through the veil and have contact, they're still struggling. They're not, like I said, they're not all happy campers in their life. Some of them, I can tell there's some of them still act like they're victims. They have ups and downs, and they're all over the place. So, this is not a journey. And by the way, Spirit's saying to me, we're living in a time where humanity is to shift to community. Okay. Prior to this, the old way was more solitary. That would be appropriate for people like go off in a cave, and work on themselves spiritually. Now, as we shift into the next dimension or density, whatever you want to call it, fourth dimension, fourth density, it's all about community. People are only going to thrive and grow when they're connected to a community that they're in resonance with, because we all can rise up faster together. There's power in community, not so much on your own. You're only going to have your own self-contained power source, right? With a community, especially the one we create this field that's just going to it helps everybody rise up. And yeah, Alan and I are the teachers, but never, 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 never put us on a pedestal. We're not gurus. I will refuse to be anybody's guru. I'm not the Messiah by any means. I've had lifetimes as a guru, been there, done that, don't want that anymore. That's not a role anybody should aspire to, not in this time, in this new age. Okay, so we're going to lead you through that attunement. I'm getting chills about that, but we're going to wait. We're going to talk about the masterclass really quickly. Okay, I don't want to go over and over and beat that drum about it, because we've talked about it a bit. So hold on, let me just pull up what I want to show you. So just so you know who I am, because some of you are like kind of new here, like you're not sure. So yeah, I am a mystic, which means a mystic is somebody who learns directly from spirit. If you've ever heard somebody say they're a mystic, that's what that means. They are not usually people who have read a lot, which is true for me. I've read, don't get me wrong, but only what I was guided to read. Haven't read broadly because spirit told me not to, because it would taint their information and would confuse me. So the only things that I've ever read were what spirit put in front of me, almost literally sometimes, like the book drops in front of you on the, the bookstore kind of thing. Or I only studied with people that spirit said, go study with that person. But I can probably count it on one hand, like who I took a training with. And really, it wasn't psychic development so much as healing, because I learned to be a Reiki master. So I had training in that. So, and I've let the spirit world speak through me. That was my promise from the beginning. And that was 1987. People started to seek me out as a teacher in my first year of being a channeler because they'd meet me and say, I know you're my teacher. I had two people do that. And those two people pretty much the income from their work actually helped support me for a good part of that first year. And I've given readings as a psychic channel. I've done Reiki, as I said, other energy healing. I was trained in theta healing. Some of you might have heard of that. I was a theta healer teacher, taught in Glastonbury, England, to a group of 17 people who traveled from all around the world, including the US, and taught that until Spirit said to me, "You're done." And I said, "What?" And they said, "You're done, time to move on." And Alan threw a fit because he knew I was an amazing teacher and I love teaching it, but I only take my orders from Spirit. So I said, "I'm done." And he didn't believe in taking his orders from Spirit. So he argued with me, like, "How can that be? How can that be? You're done." And I go, "I don't know, but I'm just following orders." So that's why I say I work for God, or as Alan prefers to say, for Spirit. To us, it's the same thing. It's God's source. Okay. So this is the key thing that separates us. Well, there are other things too. Alan does teach your loved ones at the same time we meet in the academy and even outside of class in dream time. Some of you in our academy have even told us that you've had dreams of Alan or both of us. Okay. I've been shown the work we do in dream time with our students, not the soulmates group. Okay. These are our students. And because we go the extra mile. So we are working with, that's why I'm tired sometimes. And Alan and Spirit try really hard to help me deal with that. But at some point it takes a toll. And that's just how it is. And I'm used to it. But they, Spirit and Alan, have given me a lot of, let's just say, hacks and tools that I use to do my best to bolster my energy and get through it. But Maria's here. Maria says that she says I'm not human. Like my body is not human, and kind of true. It is and it isn't. Let's just put it that way. And I've had experience of that. So, but it's for a reason, so that I can serve you. Now, you really only have two choices if you and I think about it. You're right. We either accept that they're gone. Well, not gone, but you know what I mean. And we move on without them and not engage and have this regular contact. And by the way, it doesn't mean they wouldn't drop in once in a while. What I'm talking about here is having active, ongoing, daily contact, especially with a partner, because it's appropriate to have that with a partner, to have that continual connection. To a lesser degree, maybe a parent or child, because you can understand that, right? That relationship is not meant to be that intimate and ongoing. It's certainly not meant to be like constant, and certainly not going to have the physical connection with a lot of people in the academy are having. They're actually having physical, sexual, even, and intimate contact with their partners. Okay, so you're not going to have that. God, that wouldn't be right with anybody else but a partner. So you either do that or you work with a mentor like us, somebody else, to help you shift your limiting beliefs, your fears, your trauma, so you can develop your psychic abilities, which are the abilities of your soul, so that you can awaken your soul and continue a relationship. Because you got to raise your vibration. I've had to. My vibration was already pretty high when this all happened, but I still had stuff that I had to clear. And that means so do you. Everybody does. He's saying without exception, everybody's going to have work to do, but you can do it. Okay. That's the good news. You can do it. Don't ever doubt that you can't do it. Now, our academy is for you if you cannot imagine moving on without your partner or loved one being part of your life. Okay. And you understand that conventional psychic and mediumship development classes don't teach how to continue relationships after death, do they? I mean, I've taken a look at some of them. I'm familiar with some of them. I don't see any of them doing that. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me, because I'd like to go see that class. Does anybody know when anybody's doing that? Like they teach you psychic development and they teach you how to connect with your loved ones on the other side? I don't think so. and you understand that you need a teacher who has knowledge of metaphysics, spirituality, even healing, coupled with personal experience, because they have a relationship. Like why would you teach, why would you go to a teacher who doesn't have what you want? Wouldn't make any sense, right? How can they convey something to you that they haven't mastered? Because it isn't all about psychic ability. This academy is for you if you realize this journey is not one that you can take on your own without support, healing, and learning, because you understand it's a lifestyle. It's not about just taking a workshop or a course, watching videos. You're going to need support when you go through those dark nights of the soul. They don't have to be scary. They don't have to take you down. We'll be here for you. We're always here for you. And you can call out, your loved one's going to help you too. I forget to mention that part for you. So yes, our classes are literally taught between heaven and earth. This is what they consist of. Right now, our academy members don't even know this, but we're going to start teaching on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and Saturdays at 5. Okay, now these may vary because sometimes it's not going to be Tuesdays and Saturdays once a week. It's going to be one or the other. Sometimes it could change, but basically it's that. Okay, because again, it could change. And they're always replays. Most of our students watch the replays. The replays, if you've already experienced watching the replays of the Bridge to Heaven sessions, you know that they're just as powerful, that you watched it second time, right? Or watched it on replay because you couldn't come live. Same thing with all of our work, right? In fact, we encourage people to watch the videos more than one time, even if they attended live. And many of our students do. The ones that have the greatest success and progress are ones that make time to watch whatever they're guided to watch as often as they can. And again, what you're guided to watch. We do meditation, 2-minute exercises like we did in the Bridge to Heaven sessions. And these are designed to help you connect. A lot of times we guide you to connect as you experienced it. They're designed to raise your vibration so that you will spiritually grow. And again, if you keep watching those, that will keep working on you. This is why we have it in an archive, all the videos there, so that you could replay it over and over. And again, the people that I see really start refining their connection are ones that make use of all the content that's available to them, as long as they're members inside the Academy website. Now, if you watched or attended part 4, day 4 of the Masterclass, you saw that we did mini readings, coaching, and you heard us talk with people. A lot of times they're stuck, they're doubting, they're connecting, and we'll work really deep, and everybody will benefit because everyone's going to have like similar experiences. And so everybody gains and learns by these sessions that we do with the other students. And those two, you can go back and review. And to me, that alone, that's like a workshop. Like all these things, they're like separate workshops, because a lot of times in hot seat sessions, I think one time we did that, I went almost 4 hours because I wanted to finish everybody that had their hand up. So it's like you get a reading that right now you can pay $97 for 45 minutes for a reading, or $37 and get an audio reading. But you get us focused on you, with everyone in the Academy, they're benefiting, and you'll learn from your own session with us and watching other people. We all, again, have all this bonus content in the Academy. We have a clairvoyance training. Supernatural sex, a popular topic in our Academy that we revisit periodically. The last one we did was mind-blowing. I think people who were there will attest to that. Like, wow, we learn new things every time we visit this subject, and people share what they're experiencing. And again, it's only going to get stronger. And because we're holding that field for everybody, incredible things happen and will happen in time for people. So we talk about that. We only talk about that in the Academy. We will never talk about that. I don't think, well, I'm never saying never, but I doubt I'll ever talk about that on YouTube, at least not right now, because I'll probably get so many trolls come out. And you can imagine what they're going to say. We teach about manifestation. There's an angel practitioner training in there. That's an old training. We'll probably do a new one. The angels want me to teach another archangel training with our academy. And of course, the master classes are all in there. Right now, what's only there is a Channeling Your Soulmate one. The Bridge to Heaven isn't uploaded yet, but it will be. And much more content than that, because we have a video archive of it's well over 200, because every class is recorded and there for you to replay when you need it for self-directed learning as you're guided to. Okay. Most of all, you have this loving community. We also have a messenger chat. So if you're freaking out, you just jump in the chat. You might have to wait a bit to see what people are talking about there, because the chat is like a fast moving river of people chatting about things, talking about things. But if you need help, immediately you can go there. Our moderators are usually in there. I know Danny is all over it. But sometimes, of course, she's not always there. But if you need help, that community, the Academy group has its own Facebook group, smaller group, like about 200 and something, much smaller than the Soulmates group. And people are there. You can post your experiences. You can get help. I'm not always in the chat. I can't be, because it's just when I post in there, people don't always read what I post. So it's not the best use of my time, but that's available to you. Okay. And these are just some of the webinars and attunements. In fact, there's, like I said, I'm right here. It says a sampling of 142. Really, it's more than 200 at this point, because this was what I posted about maybe 8 months ago. So this list is much more expanded. This is just a sampling of what's there. A Healing with the Angels webinar that I did, part 1 and 2. Healer distortions. That's a favorite of one of our members that goes in there, and it actually heals your distortions. What a distortion is a limiting belief or issue, fears, and it works on clearing that. The other side comes through to help you clear what you're ready to clear. All of this is designed to help you raise your vibration, let go of what's limiting you and holding you back, so that you rise up and can more live as your soul and be in more closer communion with your higher self, and therefore have guidance available to you, because all that, the dense fears and doubts you have, are going to block communication, not just with your loved one, but with your higher self and your soul and your guides. So I've always been teaching spiritual development for activating, awakening the soul. What is different now is just that Alan is helping, and me, help you to make connection with your loved one on the other side. But I've always been focused on teaching personal development, spiritual development, to help people embody their soul. That is what my work has been focused on for over 30 years. It's just another layer with this interdimensional relationship training. Okay. So to our knowledge, what makes us unique is I don't think there's any spiritual teacher who teaches every week for up to 3 hours. I've not found anybody. Usually they are teaching, if you're lucky, they're teaching once a month. I've seen that. That's the normal format. They teach once a month something, and there's content that you are told to watch on your own. Like, that's it. Like once a month, some sort of presentation that lasts maybe a couple hours. The rest of the time for the month, you are told to, review other material, and maybe there's a Facebook group that I'm used to. I've been in groups like that. We are not wasting time here, because Spirit told me that people need help now, and once a month is going to cut it. So sometimes I will maybe only teach 3 times a month, but that would be the minimum. Usually it'll be between 3 and 4 times. And again, I'll go up to, usually it's at least 2 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours. Once in a while, it's almost 4 hours. So this is the option. You can continue learning and healing with us for $197 a year. That's the best value, because you get 2 months free. And the recurring subscription That's the format is in, right? So you sign up today for 197, you'll be charged again next year at the same time for 197 unless you cancel. So we cannot keep track of that for you. We don't have the ability to do that. I'm not any program that actually tracks that for me. So I would suggest you just put that in your calendar, right? Like, okay, next year on this date, if I want to cancel this day, I do it, and keep track of it. And you can cancel if you join for a year. Now, if you go for a month, $19 a month, you can cancel, upgrade to yearly anytime. Just go in, and all you do is cancel that. And if you need help understanding that, all you do is go into your portal, membership portal. And I just told somebody I'd do that. They went in and canceled their monthly and signed up for a different thing. It's really easy, but you can always reach out if you're not sure. The new option we just launched is pay what you can option. You do have to email me for that though. We had it available at first on our website, but it was really confusing to people. So the Spirit told me, take it off and just tell people to contact you. So you just have to reach out to me, and you can decide what you want to pay per month, ideally. Okay. We're not really set up to do that yearly, like that 197 option. But anyway, reach out to me if you're interested in that, and we'll set you up with that. And this because we don't want anybody to not take advantage of working with us just because they lack the financial resources. This is not about, for me anyway, it's not about getting rich. I'm just trying to pay the bills and keep the lights on and serve. And I know that the people who are genuinely here being of service, they're not focused on becoming wealthy. I think the two things are actually in opposition to each other. If you ever find that I become extremely wealthy, you're going to hear that I donate a lot of that back because, or use it to write more books, because it's not about money. Alan and I were never about money. We were always supported by Spirit, by the universe. We always were. And it's not about getting everything that I want, material things that I want, but about just getting my needs met, my basic needs met. So that's it for you. This option will always be there on our website. And occasionally in the future, we might run some sort of like a flash sale just for fun, but it won't be reduced too much more than what it already is, because this is, to be honest with you, 197 a year is the best for us financially, because anything less than that is really challenging for us financially. And yeah, but we might run a sale in the future, but probably not for some time now, because I think we are pretty much keeping it as low as we can. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll look in the chat. I'm just on here right now. Yeah, so begin your journey if you feel like it with us in the Academy today. Next week, we'll have a meeting. I'll be announcing to the Academy members when we're going to meet, and we'd love to have you join us. Some of the things we have coming up that we want to do is we do want to teach a class, although I don't know if I call it a class, but I have a discussion about what people have been asking me about the merge, like what I described to you that I merged with Alan. Okay. And people want to know, how do I know if I merged with my partner? Right. So there are things that we're going to talk about, that things for people to understand about that. And we're going to do some other work with the archangels that they want to get more involved, and they haven't shared all of that with me yet, but I know they're going to get more involved in what we're doing, and I'm looking forward to that. And so here we go. So we look forward to having you join us if you feel ready to join us. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, post them here. Let me see, I haven't kept track of all your questions. Yeah, Karen, you are different. I mean, all of you are different, obviously, but I think what you probably mean, Karen, is that people say that you seem different, like since you've been on this journey. Is that what you mean? Lisa says, I want to be a mystic. Okay, stick with us. We're teaching you how to be a mystic. Oh, Tina, you're so sweet. This is why we all love the Academy so much more, and what Pam and Alan help us with is amazing. And Danny says 197 a year is a steal. Yeah, we can't really bring it down lower than that without me going out and getting another job, which would mean that I'd have to cut back on my teaching. Yes, different for the good, right, Karen? Yeah, that's what I thought. They said that, oh, you seem different, but in a positive way, right? And this, by the way, guys, this is how we create the change in the world, that we shift and we're at this higher state. People go, wow, what are you doing? You seem different. You seem like you're in a better place. And this is how we impact the world. Seriously. Yeah, grounded. You seem different, right? Isn't it just ironic or that the more you connect with your side and our loved ones, actually the more grounded you can be, and yet at the same time you're in between worlds, so you're going to feel like you're in this sometimes a little bit spacey and yet grounded at the same time. That's how I feel. It's almost like paradoxical. Okay, so let's do this attunement. And if you're, and oh, here, okay, Spirit's saying to me, if you're not sure whether this is for you, ask your loved one, hey, whether with your partner, mom, dad, whoever, right? What do you think? Is this for us? Because it's going to be a two-way thing. It's going to be a co-created experience. Is this for us? They got to learn, you got to learn, say, hey, is this for us? And then whatever you feel you heard, whatever you maybe sign you got or sensation you got, hold that to your heart and say, does this feel like truth to my soul? That would be your answer. All right, enough of this, Ellen's saying, talking about, we're not trying to twist anybody's arm and join us in the academy. Again, if you're not ready, maybe you want to start with a mini reading just to get a taste of that, of how it would be if we worked one-on-one with you, because you'll get a sense of that in the mini reading for sure. And, so maybe you want to start there, and that's fine. Or maybe this isn't for you, and that's fine too. And we wish you well with whatever you do. Okay. All right. Let's do this. So I'd like you to get comfortable. Wherever you are, get comfortable. And take a deep breath and focus on your heart space. And if you want to place both hands on your heart, that'd be great if you feel guided to. Because all that does is focus your awareness there, right? Because you're putting your hands there. So be in your heart, seat of your soul. And just take some gentle breaths in and out. And while you do that, I want you to affirm, I am one with all that is. 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 And we're bringing in the archangels who are surrounding us with their love and their light and their power. What I see is they have their wings extended, and they are sending us not only their love, but the love that our spirit team has for us and our loved ones. And they're beaming all of that love to our hearts. And I'd like you to see, feel, or imagine in your heart this beautiful golden light. It might look like a candle light or a flame of some kind, or you might simply get a sense of a light of some form. And feel into that light, the light of your soul, the light that is the love that you are. And imagine yourself merging with that light. And the archangels are helping you to go into that light, a fire that doesn't burn, but ignites your soul, illuminates your true divine knowing that you've always had. And this light, this flame, burns off all the lies, the distortions, the untruths that you've been programmed with. So imagine, see, or feel yourself standing in that light. And feel the warmth and the heat of that light as it burns off what you no longer need. Release your burdens into that light. Release your fears into that light. Release your doubts. Release any and all energies that no longer serve you. And using the power of your intention, just send it all to the light. And the light and the love transmute and transform all of it, turning it into a sparkling, radiant, brilliant, shimmering light that almost seems physical and tangible. The angels want you to know that you are weaving this fabric, this gossamer fabric of light and love. This fabric that you can take upon you like a cloak, like a garment. Wrapping it around you. And just feel that light, that energy. And feel it embedding into your body, both your physical body and your energetic body. This light is upgrading you, renewing you, recharging you, replenishing you. And now, while you're in this state of relaxation, connection with your soul, we want you to think in your mind what it is that you would like the archangels and God's source to deliver to you. You can ask for whatever you want. Just know that you're going to receive exactly what you need. If the two match up, that's great. If they don't worry about it. You're going to get what you need. But in this moment, ask for what you want. If you want to experience your clairvoyance in a fuller way, ask for that. If you want to experience love from your loved one in spirit in a deeper way, ask for that. If you need healing, ask for that. Ask for whatever it is your heart desires. And then let it go and know that you will receive exactly what you need, whether it comes in this moment or in the near future. And with that asking done, now your job is to receive, to just relax, receive, trust, and know that it's on its way. Celebrate that in the spirit world, it was instantly manifested. And now your job is just to get out of the way, is to stop worrying about it, questioning about it, looking for it, wanting it more, because wanting is lack energy that will only block what it is you desire. So relax in the knowing that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Take your mind off of what you asked for. That's the best way. Okay, but we're going to do one last thing before we let that go, let the asking unfold. Okay, I want you to go into that experience of receiving what it is you asked for and see yourself celebrating it. Like you're so excited and you're telling somebody all about it, what just happened. For example, you're talking to a friend saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. My clairvoyance is through the roof. I can see spirit. I can see my loved one. Or I can hear spirit so clearly." And just really go into that experience like it's already done. And I want you to build the energy, really build it. Get excited. How ecstatic you would be. Isn't it exciting? What it feels like to have your dream come true. I want you to really fan the fire of that experience that's been delivered. Feel into it. Get really excited. Amplify it. What would that be like? What would it be like to have your dream come true? And when you get it to the point where you feel like you can't get any more excited, let it go like you're releasing a balloon. Send it out to the universe. Let it go. Bless it. Release it. And then relax. Be at peace about it. And now the archangels are surrounding your manifestation with their golden light and their love. They're blessing it. They're sending it off. You may not have known that the other side can help us manifest, but they only manifest what is truly for our highest good. They help us to manifest what we need, and your higher self knows what you need. So rest easy in the knowing that everything that you need is on its way. And all you have to do is trust and believe and not hold any thoughts or beliefs that contradict that conflict with that. Because that's the only thing that would prevent it from manifesting. So the angels are still sending you this golden light, this love. Bask in that love. And call out to your loved one if you would like to. Ask them to connect with you. They've been there all along through our time together. So what's really happening is you're just giving yourself permission to feel them. And we know that mediums often talk about the need to present solid evidence of your loved one's presence. But they want to say to you that the only evidence you really need is experience and transmission of their love. And that very few mediums can actually offer you. And that is why their mediumship readings, while the information itself can be useful, they won't foster your connection. Information by itself doesn't lead to connection. Proof, quantifiable proof, again, in and of itself, doesn't enhance communication. It only gives you, hopefully, accurate evidence that that's what they're wanting to tell you. As we've mentioned earlier, the medium can read your loved one so that you cannot be 100% sure they're speaking for them without filtering through their own belief system. So once again, our loved ones want to amplify their love, right? Only broadcast that love. Love from the spirit world should make us cry because it's greater than human love. It's pure, unconditional, limitless love. So sometimes when you think you're feeling grief, you're actually feeling their love and you're interpreting it to be grief. Because love from heaven should make us cry. And we're just going to give you a moment to feel into that love. And know that you can return to this recording anytime and reconnect. And you're going to get to another level. Because in every moment, you're changing, you're growing, you're evolving. So when you revisit something, anything, especially our work, you're going to have a brand new experience. You cannot have the same experience. That is impossible. What is that saying? You can't step in the same river twice because you're different every time. An interdimensional relationship is a journey of unfolding, incremental, moment by moment, day by day, week by week, month by month unfolding. It must be this way because your physical body is dense, cannot hold the higher frequencies without you adjusting to it and integrating it, which is why we help you with that. So now we invite you to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, integrate this healing, this energy attunement and activation. Let it integrate into every cell of your body so that you can live from this new experience. Know that after our time together here in this moment, you've changed, you've grown. You're not the same person you were at the beginning of this. You can't be. And that's the miracle and the blessing of these relationships through the veil. Now we want you to ground yourself by bringing all your energy back into your body, okay, using the power of your intention. And imagine, see, or feel that you're putting roots down through the bottoms of your feet, and they're anchoring you to the earth, like you're sending those roots down. Or if you can't see it in your mind, just your intention is enough to do it. You're anchoring to the earth so that you're grounded. Your body is composed of Mother Earth, all the elements that make up Mother Earth. So now, using the power of your intention again, bring that earth energy up into your body through the bottoms of your feet. Let that earth energy come up your feet, your legs, your thighs, into your pelvis, your stomach, into your chest, down your arms, out your hands, bring it up your neck, through your head, so that you're filled from the tips of your toes to the top of your head with earth energy, grounding you. And once again, using the power of your intention, reach up and out through the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the cosmos. You're reaching for the perfect cosmic energy that is right for you today in this moment, the energy that most represents where your soul, your being is at today, energy that will help you today, right now. Bring that cosmic energy into the top of your head. Let it fill your head. Let it go down your neck, go down your shoulders, your chest, your arms, out your hands. Let that cosmic energy flow into your stomach, go down to your pelvic area, your groin, down your thighs, down your legs and your feet. And let that cosmic and earth energy blend. Let it mix. You might even see a color. Okay. Doesn't matter if you do or don't, but some of you might see the mix is blending it so that's perfectly balanced. We want to leave you perfectly balanced between heaven and earth, with the cosmic heavenly energies and the earth energies, because you are a being who exists in the higher realms and in the physical. Your natural state of being is to be in spirit, but you happen to also express a portion of yourself into a body. So the quest to reunite through the veil is about learning to live in the in-between, between heaven and earth, with one foot in the physical and the other foot in the spiritual world. And being able to bilocate, really be in two places at once. And that's how you become your own medium, and why you are the only one who can do that. You're the only one can connect with your loved ones in that way on an ongoing basis. One-time communication, yeah, medium can do that for you. Ongoing, completely different thing. Completely different. You want to go beyond just a reading, like a one-time message communication. You want to continue a relationship through the veil, then you have to rise up. You have to evolve. And if this is what you came here to do, you'll know in your heart. Or maybe the time's not right for you yet. That's fine too. Trust that everything is in divine order. Trust that there's no coincidences. Spirit's saying to me, if you're watching this now, live or later, and this is even registering to you like curiosity, at least, it's probably something you came here to do, or you wouldn't be here. There are zero coincidences in this world. Everything is an orchestration. Every single thing that happens to all of us is an orchestration of the higher realms. So the question is, are you going to take action and step into it, or are you not? Because you have free will to say, I changed my mind. The other side, spirit, not going to force you. You have to decide. And you can change your mind. That's okay. But if this is your path and you don't take it, I know, because Spirit showed me, you are going to regret it when you cross over, because It's no accident you're living during the time of the ascension, of the greatest awakening that's ever happened on the planet right now. Next year is going to be probably the biggest liftoff of this, where everything can change. We're trying to get you ready for that. Really what that's about. 2025, different reports I'm getting, could be, okay, that we have contact with the ETs. Could be we're more of a, who are ready to become completely telepathic. We start really seeing spirit like physical. Those are ready. We're trying to get you ready for that. So if that calls to you, that feels interesting to you, then, join us. We're going to be able to get there faster. We're going to be able to rise up together with grace and ease when we all come together. And we'd love to have you join us. Okay, so Maria can drop the link to the Academy again. Thanks, Maria. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And remember to reach out to me at Pam at Supernatural Love if you want to explore the pay what you can option. Any questions? I'm looking at the chat. I don't see any questions. Are you guys back in your bodies? I want to be sure you're in your bodies. And if anybody's watching this later and going, oh, okay, because you don't see the link because you're watching the video, just go to supernaturallove.com, 2 L's, supernaturallove.com, 2 L's. You'll see Academy there and you'll see all of it there. Okay, so you can't miss it. Supernaturallove.com. Look for Academy. So any comments about what you experienced? Dominique says, I was splashing in the water at the beach with Frank. Thank you for a super class. You're so welcome. Everyone's so quiet. Lisa says, I'm so relaxed there too. Okay, you guys are all relaxed. Did you fall asleep? Relaxed is good, right? Oh, thanks, Deb. Deb says, thank you for everything. Right. Let's thank our archangels, our guides, our personal angels, our loved ones. They don't need us to thank them. I just think it feels good to us to thank them. Julie says, that was amazing. I felt a strong, warm hug. Claire says, this is the first time since your master classes I've been so relaxed. Thank you. Yes, so revisit this. Okay, we are going to send out a replay. Kathy says, that was great. I'm very relaxed. Thank you, Pam and Archangels and Alan. And Mel says, thank you so much. Janae says, yes, thank you to all of our angels and guides. Right. Remember that you're a spirit. That's why you can do this. If you weren't, then I would be telling you, no, I don't think you can do this. But we are spirit beings that happen to have a body in this existence, this particular one. But we're really a spirit who cannot be destroyed or killed or die or anything. Okay. And when we really understand that, and you can reach through the veil with greater ease, when you really know that to the core of your being. Oh, you're so welcome, Susan and everybody. All right. Any questions about the Academy? Because we're here. I think maybe we did enough, right? Did we give you enough information? Whether you join us or not, whether you're ready or not. And if you're, because this is being live streamed into the Soulmates group, because we were able to. Yeah, you guys didn't, maybe not all of you got to do the masterclass. So, watch that, decide what you want to do about that, but know that anything is possible for those who believe. And if you don't know if you believe yet and you're willing to reach for that, you can change your beliefs. You are here to create your life whatever way you want to, from your beliefs. You don't like your life? Change your beliefs. That's all it is. You are not doomed to just live out all the programming, your conditioning that you were given. You can change that. In fact, spiritual awakening is actually about identifying what we believe and seeing, well, do I still believe that? Or is this something that I swallowed that somebody else gave me, like my parents or society? You are here to look at that and say, I don't like that. I want to change that belief. So if you have a great life now, then don't do that because everything's working, right? Like you're happy, it's working for you. You don't need to do that. If you're struggling in any way, you might want to look at your beliefs, especially the belief that they're dead and gone, because they're not. And the reason that pondering that, even that thought that they're gone, breaks your hearts, because it's the biggest lie we've ever been fed, that they're gone. So I'm reading all these comments from people in our academy. You guys, you gals, you're just so amazing. Jan saying midnight here in Ireland, journal with my beloved, time and bedtime. Thank you, Pam and Alan. Archangels, guys, my precious beloved. Good night. Good night, Jan. Good night to everybody for who stayed up late to watch us. I know in Europe it's late right now. Well, 7 p.m. in Florida. Yeah, I know it's late. Not that late, right? In the East Coast, right, Claire? All right, well, we're going to wrap up since you don't have questions. But if you want to study more with us, you want to break through your limiting beliefs, I hope you'll join us now or some other time. But we're here and love you very much. Sending blessings your way, right? Hope for many of you going to head off to sleep soon. So ask your loved one to come through to you. Know that they always do, but you may not be perceiving them, and that's okay. Okay, that's okay. It doesn't matter. You always visit home again when you go to sleep. You have to. Because if we don't connect to the spirit world in dream time, we actually will not feel good. You have to go back home to get recharged. And in the astral, when you go where you can connect, you can encounter your loved ones. So, but you won't always remember it. That's okay. Make no mistake, you are connecting. Oh, wow. Somebody says, so Julie says you're in the middle of a nor'easter. Oh my goodness. Stay safe. Stay safe out there whenever you're watching this. Wow. Thank you for joining us. Right. And if you're in the Soulmates group, you have questions, because some people are watching it, they're not on the Zoom. Let us know in the comments and we'll come back and answer. All right. But otherwise, I think we're out of here. We're kind of at the 2-hour mark. And you can also, Danny says you can also reach out to her with any questions. Danny's one of our moderators, so you can ask their posts there. If she can answer it, she'll answer it. Otherwise, she'll throw the question to me. All right. All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Take care till next time. All right.
Bye, Pam.
Bye. You can unmute if you want to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Love you.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.